The unnamed White House official who claimed to be part of the resistance is back. That name comes from the official's controversial anonymous New York Times op-ed last year. Now, that person has penned a book entitled A Warning by Anonymous, a senior Trump administration official. An early review by the Washington Post says it depicts the president as cruel, inept, and a danger to the nation, but also vague on the details. Some in the media are questioning how much credence to give the book. There's also the question of how aggressively reporters should try to identify a government official who claims to be undermining the president. All right, so where do we stand on this? Dan and I, right off the bat, disagree. I thought the excerpts were marvelous and just engrossing because one of them, describing Trump's behavior as the uncle who goes crazy at a nursing home.
Oh, that was funny. I like that.
You know, is yelling obscenities at everybody. He's pantless, running around.
Yeah.
And he says the difference is that he's not like that every day. They usually calm down. There was a number of excerpts like that. It got me thinking that whoever this person is has some journalistic or writing background. It's not just some bureaucrat who's never sat down. Even the op-ed was well written. So,
but
do you think we should?
That's good color.
Yes.
But what deeper truth does it get to about the president that we aren't already aware of? Neither have I. But just based on the same clips that we've seen that you're talking about, it doesn't sound to me like it's telling us anything that we probably didn't already at least suspect, which makes me think that this is going to be, not quite as much of a blockbuster as it could be.
Well, the Washington Post piece was devoted to finding news in it, and they really didn't find much. It was.
Have they seen the whole book?
It was yes, they have, and it was stuff they already know. I'll tell you what I loved. The New York Times review just trashed it, and the whole thing read like a subtweet directed at the Times opinion pages because they're the ones who essentially created Anonymous.
Should we be finding out who it is, John?
Yeah.
Obviously, if someone finds out and wants to report on it, I'll read it, but I don't care. I thought it was a stretch when the Times published the op-ed anonymously. However, it came at a time when the information was fresh. Now it's not fresh. There have been on-the-record accounts, books by journalists, even by insiders. That guy, Cliff, what was his name, who served as an aide in there, who has essentially come out with everything that's alleged in this book. There are some details. They claimed that, Pence was prepared to vote to invoke the constitutional amendment to have the guy declared nuts. Or
there was reports of an en masse quit.
Yeah, and of course Pence is denying it. It seems to me that newspapers and publishers, of course, can print whatever they like, but the granting of anonymity in this case seems really sketchy.
I'm about with you. I can't get whipped up about it. I don't understand I guess because I don't understand the point. Okay, so I know what they say is the point, but you're still there. Presumably, that's what you say, Anonymous. You're still there. So I'm not. Who are you making the case to? Because those people who really support the president, and they don't believe you. So the only way that they, if anybody might change their minds, is if you were not anonymous, to say, here I am, and I stood right here, and I saw this, and I saw that, and I'm telling you, as a person that is steeped in my job and also upholding the Constitution, this guy, and I thought I supported him, should not have this job.
There's something about a truth teller hiding the truth.
Clearly the New York Times, at least Dean Baquet and a few other editors know who it is. What if somebody else on the New York Times staff gets the name and says, all right, I want to go with it? Is Dean Baquet going to let him?
Yes, I think so. I don't see why not. It's only the opinion pages that are stuck with this promise of anonymity. And if they find out for sure, then they should go with it. There's no whistleblower protection here.
I would imagine, though, that would be a somewhat extensive conversation. I'm not sure that it would just be a snap decision. I don't know how easy a call that would be to make.
I'm going to read the book. All right.
I'll borrow your copy.
Okay. I didn't say I was buying it.
Okay. All right. There we go.